Without further ado, the first segment has to do with Jacqui Heinrich of Fox News sitting here and calling out DHS Secretary shenanigans and his lies. Let's go ahead and roll it.
Thank you, Kareem. Thank you, Secretary, for being here. On the memo that the U.S. Border Patrol chief sent to sector chiefs last night allowing for parole releases if overcrowding becomes an issue, that's not Title VIII like you said would happen. I mean, these migrants don't get an alien registration number that would be used to track them. They don't get a court date. They're instead asked to self-report to ICE within 60 days. You said at the beginning that you've prepared for this moment for almost 2 years. So why is part of that plan an honor system?
Oh, it is not an honor system. What we do is we use the resources that we have to meet the challenges that we confront. This is a tool that has been used in the past. The vast majority of individuals will indeed be placed in expedited removal, and if they do not qualify, will be removed in a matter of days, if not weeks, from the United States. When we encounter a volume of individuals for which we need to address in a different way, we do so. If those individuals do not...
What is that way? What way are you going to address those individuals? Are you just going to let them in the interior of the country? And for how long, by the way? Days, and then he says weeks. We've heard of rumors last year that they were giving them cell phones, ankle bracelets, and they were just throwing away the cell phones and the ankle bracelets and never returning to their dates of which they're supposed to show up to.
Not honor their commitment to surrender to an immigration and customs enforcement officer to be able to be placed in enforcement proceedings, they are a subject of our apprehension efforts.
You said that it would be a fraction of migrants that this happens with. How many is a fraction when you've had almost 6 million illegal crossings under this administration?
Great question.
We, last year, removed, returned, and expelled approximately 1.4 million individuals. That is the most in any 1 year.
Of course it's going to be the most in any 1 year because you've shattered records than any other time in U.S. history. Some people think I'm joking when I say in the totality of the history of our nation, we've never seen these types of numbers because Joe Biden keeps shattering records. I'm being literal in that sense. No president. Our country has never seen this happen before. So obviously, if you have more people pouring across the border, you're going to have more apprehensions. You're going to have more of everything. Crime, terrorists, drugs pouring across the border, violent gang members. I mean, you name it, it's going to pour across in record numbers because you have record numbers poured across the border. And this guy seems not to understand it, but that wasn't the question. Okay, there wasn't. How many people does all this take place? Give us a number. He doesn't do it. He doesn't do it.
Shaky legal ground, though, with mass releases?
Well, first of all, your question has a factual predicate with which I would disagree about mass releases, number one. But releases of individuals subject to immigration enforcement proceedings is not something particular to this administration.
Folks, Jacqui was right. Mass releases is what has been happening and will continue to happen. There is more people, I mean, depending on what you want to look at here, there is more people than the state of Nebraska just under the Biden administration that have been let loose into the interior of the country, like 2.1 million people or something like that. Don't quote me on that exact number because the numbers are always fluctuating. But just in the last, this year alone, God, I hope I'm not getting this wrong. Either way you want to look at it, there's more illegal immigrants that have come across through the border under President Joe Biden than we have population in states. Yes, that is plural states. So there is a mass release happening here, and we'll get to more of that in just one moment, I promise.
Case-by-case basis, and this would not be on a case-by-case basis.
We implement our operations in conjunction with the Department of Justice, and we have confidence in the lawfulness of our actions.
Okay, thank you.
I love that Jacqui kept pushing it there and really didn't let up on the gas and really just was forceful with her questions rather than letting Karine Jean-Pierre dictate when she was done, because she's exposing this guy for what is happening, what has been happening, and what is going to happen. You're going to see the floodgates open. And there's another reporter named Terry, and we'll get to him in our third segment, where he actually questions DHS Secretary here regarding the chaos that's happening in the streets and how migrants are just flooding these border cities and these border neighborhoods. It's insane what is happening. And by the way, it doesn't expire until literally today. I mean, it was going to expire yesterday as far as midnights. And there's somewhere, I've heard estimates, folks, of 600 to 700,000 people are already lining up between California, Arizona, and Texas. That's just at midnight there. Wait till the word spreads. Just wait till bleep hits the fan. But phenomenal job by Jacqui Heinrich of calling out this knucklehead stuff.
I hope you enjoyed that clip from the Bald Brad Show. If you did, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all our future content.